Next up, out of the career strategy series, is my personal testimony of how I left toxic pharma and got my life back. So a quick disclaimer, pharma for me was very toxic, whereas for other people, it's very high stress and demanding, but they love it, right? Because everyone is wired differently. So again, I'm putting a disclaimer out there because I don't want anyone to just think that their environment is automatically toxic. It's more like, is it taking a toll on you or your body? Headaches, all of that kind of stuff, which I will unravel in this video and talk about how it took a toll on me and it turned into a toxic environment, and then how I pivoted out of it to kind of get my life back. So let's begin. So again, I was working in freelancing in pharma. That's number one. I came in as a freelancer, I think it was like maybe Q2, kind of before companies are, which is my best way to freelance. Actually, freelance or contract is better when you come through the company as opposed to a staffing agency. And I think I talked about that in a prior video, just because when you are coming through a company, when a company is hiring you specifically through them, you have an opportunity to get a higher rate. Whereas if you are freelancing through a staffing agency, you know that they're taking that markup, that extra 10 or 15%, whatever that agency's markup is, they're taking that for themselves. So let's get back to the story. So anyway, I wound up freelancing in pharma. The ad was up. I came in, I applied. This was back in, we didn't have remote roles yet. Well, there were remote roles, but my role wasn't remote, put it like that. So I came in person. I had the interview, and of course, I got it the same day, which is kind of like normal if you're freelancing or contracting in person. Well, I've also had interviews that I've gotten in the day as well. Permanent interviews, like meeting the whole team that day. Because it's kind of like I always tell people, companies know in the first 15 minutes whether they're going to hire you or at least move you forward to the next round. Let's put that disclaimer to be fair. Anyway, the role was okay. It was, the role was freelancing, like it's supposed to do freelancing. That was fine. The problem came is that I think after 6 months, they asked me, like the team came to me, they was like, we love how you're managing the team, this and this and that. The other person that they had on the role was kind of like a little bit incompetent per se, I would say. The team just had a lot of issues with the other person. So at the same time, we were both kind of covering the roles, and they just liked my leadership style better, or they liked, the way I communicated with the teams cross-functionally. So after 6 months, which is unheard of, like I tell people, like normally it takes, a company will have you maybe freelancer for a full year just to make sure that you're the right fit and then convert you. I was converted in 6 months, but yeah. So anyway, they came to me and was like, we like how you work, this and this and that. And I got a call from HR. They was like, can you come to the office? I came. They offered me the role full time. I gave them the salary, and then they was like, okay, let us think about it. I think like 2 hours later, they called me back and was like, okay, I think I went like whatever salary they offered me. I think I said like 5K over that, right? Because you should always negotiate, even if they come to you with a rate, you should always negotiate higher, just based on your experience. So that's what I did. Like I said, the role was fine. So like somewhere along the organizational chart, like the chart that they have going on, they put me under a different manager, a different senior manager, and I'm not going to say any names, nor am I going to name the company, because I'm just not going to do that, because I don't like offending people in case that is their exact environment. However, if this video sits with you like in your spirit and you feel like this is for you, you should definitely, keep listening, keep following through, and just, watch my whole career series. Anyway, they put me under this manager. Now, the first red flag is that normally at a company as a senior manager, and I know because I've been in the roles as a senior manager, you have a couple of people under you. that you're managing, right? Like you have management people, you also may have some coordinators that you're training and developing, and you're kind of overseeing like your little sphere of the company, like you're owning that part of the role. So the first red flag was like I was the only person under that senior manager's leadership. You know what I mean? Like it's weird that she was managing. She's the only one. That's a red flag. Usually, like I said, it's two or three. It might be three people. Then it's like you might have five, some coordinators up under there as well. Anyway, I just didn't like her leadership style. So I would think that it was one of those things like I would think that we had a decent relationship. Like you have your weekly one-on-one meetings with your manager, your senior manager, or your director, whoever you're meeting with, and you think that you're on the same page, or they appear to kind of have your back in your one-on-one. You're addressing, you're bringing up issues to them, they appear to have your back. And then it's like you get into a meeting and it kind of like you under the bus. You know what I mean? That's not good leadership. You always want a leader who is protecting you. Right now, if you're incompetent or something is totally your fault, this is not you skating through accountability. This is for people that like you're accountable. If you made a mistake, because we're all human, you can make a mistake, right? Maybe you didn't get the right sleep last night. Maybe you woke up with a crazy migraine. It's reasons for dropping the ball or something that happened, and that's normal. But what you don't want is that you thinking that you're on the same page, or you are bringing up your issues with your team member who is supposed to quote unquote have your back as a leader, and they're kind of like throwing you under the bus, acting like they had no clue. It's like how they say, it's like kind of how they say, like it's gaslighting a little bit, acting like they had no clue. Like it's like, and then it doesn't look good in the meeting because it's like, and I'm talking about status meetings where there's like 20 to 25 people, all levels, from managers all the way up to, there may be a director twice a week or something, but it just doesn't look good, right? So you're already you're not in a good space. Put it like that. There's some words that I'm not going to say here, but you're not in a good space. Put it like that. Um. So then, so this so it was like, I didn't raise the issue then. I remained professional, and then I would wait or send an email to her, and then in my one-on-one, I'd be like, "Oh, what happened? This, and that," and she was, just gaslight me or act like it didn't happen or act like, "Oh, you're taking it out of context." So I started to blindly, you know how you can BCC. I started to BCC the VP, just so like she could see like how I'm communicating with her, how I'm staying professional, how as my leader and my manager, if I'm having a problem, you should be able to help me out. And helping you out is also with certain tools, right? If you have a certain knowledge of tools, that person who is over you as your mentor, because they're supposed to also be kind of like a mentor as well. They're helping you get efficient, or they're showing you shortcuts that you probably didn't really know. Like plenty of things when I've trained people, I've shown them like, hey, did you know we can do this in this tool? And they'll be like, oh my God, this is life changing, this, and that. Or I didn't know about it, right? We can all learn from each other, and it doesn't matter like what title you are. Someone junior could definitely learn from someone senior, and someone senior can train someone junior as well. So I started to blind copy the VP, just so to get, just making sure it's not me, right? Because it's easy for you to feel like maybe I'm taking it extra personal, right? Because I'm already in a toxic environment, and toxic environment for me was in a sense of my coffee is, like as soon as I run in, or first of all, there's an emergency meeting out the blue. The scoping is not happening properly. Emergency meeting out the blue. Pitches going wild, pitches going crazy. You're sitting in, or someone is called out sick and they need you to come fill in. My coffee is cold. I'm in the same meeting with the 20 to 25 people a day. Right after the meeting, and mind you, like I said, we're all in the same meeting. You're emailing me and asking me about a project, and mind you, we're all in the same. I laugh. It's like we're all in the same meeting. Isn't that common sense? That's like me sitting in a status meeting with my creative team, And then right after the meeting, right after the status meeting, and mind you, a status meeting means that we're supposed to be talking about status. So if we're communicating properly, we are supposed to, hey, how's this project going along? Do you need help? Where are you at with this? It's due by end of day. Anything that we can help you with? We're having those meetings in the company of everyone to keep the team accountable, right? It's not like you're not like throwing them under the bus. It's more like it's an accountability meeting. And that way, just because a lot of times when you are working at companies, the teams are mixed, right? So you may have two senior designers that are on two major campaigns going on at the same line, and you're trying to stagger the timelines, but they're kind of colliding, and those same teams are on it, right? You also may have the same CD is overlooking that, all of the projects that's under that portfolio. But the real the real question is that the point is that they're in a meeting with you. So it's like, how would I look coming out of a meeting and asking my creative team, hey, what's going on with that project? When we just came out of a status meeting, they just talked about their hurdles or their headaches, or someone may be called out sick today, maybe a freelancer called out sick today, so they're also helping with that. Maybe a file didn't upload properly last night, so the status meeting is also to find out what can we correct, like what are the hot deliverables for today, what can we correct and what can wait, just to talk about that. So then I'm coming out of the meeting. So like I said, my coffee is cold. I'm going from meeting, and mind you, this is, like I said, why toxic, it was toxic for me is that if you see my calendar, I would have back-to-back meetings. I might have had a 10-minute break one place to use the ladies' room. Back-to-back meetings. And then I'm like, okay, then they're planning meetings through your lunch break, which in pharma, it's normal. And that's why I said for me, it was toxic, because it's like, I'm not even getting a right lunch break. I'm not even 30 minutes, right? Even a 30-minute lunch break, I'm not getting that. Heaven is if you get an hour. Salad or whatever, I'm ordering Chipotle or whatever, going out to get it, come back. There's a meeting, we all online, rushing to get back, just to come to another meeting. And it's like everyone got their fork out. And it's also like, it's not sanitary. Like, I really don't like eating in meetings. You know, it's like you're chewing on lettuce or whatever, or someone's chewing and they're like sitting right beside you in a board meeting, and the chairs are kind of together, and you just see the person like chewing, and it's just like people are talking with their mouth. Oh, it's just like a lot going on. It's just totally not my level. Yeah, so you can't finish your lunch. Your lunch is 30 minutes in. Your lunch is already. Your lunch is cold. So after the meeting, you're going into the microwave. You're trying to heat up the food. You already know that certain food, like Chipotle, it doesn't taste right if it's heated up the same day. So that was going on. And at the same time, I was also waking up daily with migraine headaches. Now, I already suffer with migraine headaches. I've been suffering with migraine headaches since I was a child. And it has a lot to do with like my spiritual calling as well. So I just had a lot of migraine headaches, growing up. And I mean migraine headaches to the point to where I would have to wear shades sometimes. Like you know how like you need shades when it's sunny outside, and that's fine. And you see people sometimes walking around, and I do that too. Sometime in the fall or the winter, I'm walking around, I got my shades on. I don't have a headache. It's just like a style moment. It's like, okay, I don't feel like nobody looking at me till I'm putting my shades on. Is that? But this wasn't that. This was really like getting up with these migraine headaches. And if I have a migraine headache, I can't even properly look at the board. I can't even properly look at my laptop. I can't even properly look at my computer screen. It is really piercing. It's really a piercing headache. So I'm sitting and I'm waking up every day with these headaches as well as my coffee is cold, as well as I have lunch for 30 minutes, as well as the team is pulling me left and right. And then my leader, my manager, is also throwing me under the bus or gaslighting me, acting like this didn't happen. So I started to BCC, the VP, And I also was complaining to the VP as well, which is another thing that sometimes it's like you're complaining, but they think you're not going to do anything. And how mine ended was, it's okay. Someone's here, like looking at the apartment. So how mine ended was I was complaining, and after a while I just took action. So you see now on YouTube, there's a lot of videos about, like, 10 steps to leave a toxic work environment, or this and this and that. And for me, it's like, no, it's 2 steps. I'm done with this and I'm out. I also was going through like some patient stuff that I was just going through with, because I am a believer. So I was going through some patient stuff with that. And I just kept hearing him say, like, just stay, wait, persevere. I'm strengthening your patience or whatever. So at the same time, I was also like emailing other, my staffing agencies that I'm good with, just to see like anything going on. I can't take it. I'm stressed out, this and this and that. So in the same time that I was getting the migraine headaches, I was also getting my hair, and I have like naturally a good head of hair, which is normally thick. My hair was also like shedding. So I was waking up with migraine headaches, waking up with combing my doobie down, and like the sink full of all of my hair. And mind you, it's not split ends, right? Like you have the hair shedding when your ends are split, and you're like, okay, I need to go to the salon, right? Because that's not healthy either. Like you got long hair, but ma'am, your ends are see-through. You got to cut that off and start again. So this wasn't that. This was combing my hair out in the sink, and the sink full, all because being anemic, right? So my iron was down. Being anemic is also my blood. Me taking the anemia pills, hair shedding, coffee, cold, and I was developing now I already kind of had fibroids, but when I was going to the doctor, they were telling me like, "Oh, you only had 3 fibroids." Do you know by the time I had another meeting with my doctor, and they gave me another, the other MRI. You got the one that's for the stomach, and then you have the one that, for ladies, that one I'm talking about, where they see inside of you and put you in the, what is it, the MRI, like that whole, the long one, they put you in there. I cannot tell you the amount of fibroids that I had, but they basically doubled. That's how toxic my environment was for. Because remember, fibroids is not only, especially for Black women, it's normal. It's not, I won't say it's not normal, because it is depending on your estrogen, and it is depending on like a lot of your food that you're eating that's highly processed, that causes it, that helps it as well. That helps it to grow. But stress also is a big part of it. So like I said, I already had the 3, I already knew about the 3. They was like, yeah, you got 3. I'm like, okay. Black women is known, the fibroid thing going on and all that kind of stuff, whatever. We're prone to it more. And that's why I don't want to say that it's normal, because it's not normal. But if you are stressed the hell out, it's going to be normal to you. Once I saw that, I then went to, I saw that, my results, and I then went to my VP again and told her, like, look, this is happening to me. My health, my headache. I'm anemic. I'm already anemic. I already get cold all the time. I got, my fibroids have doubled. My hair is shedding, this and that. Oh, okay, we're looking into it, this and that. We don't have nowhere to put you right now. The whole shebang, the whole spiel that they was telling me. I was like, okay, got in touch with my agencies again. Finally, a role opened up. So I'm just going to wrap this up shortly. So another role opened up on the client side. I went for the interview. 1, 2, 3, I got the role, and I didn't care. Like they told me that the role, now mind you, I'm leaving a permanent role, and that's another thing. Sometimes in pharma they get you because it's like, oh, the money is good, and what happens a lot of times is that the money is good, but a lot of times if the money is good, people have advanced their lifestyle to match that level that the money is good, that the level of the rate. So now they can't leave that job. So now they really feel stuck, because they're like, oh my God, who's going to compare about this pay? I didn't care about none of that. I didn't care about none of it. It's like my health is on the line, my headache, this and this and that. I need my life back. I'll make that money again. If any of you have a real testimony, I know for me, like I left home, I ran away from home at 14. Like God has, like He's been taking care of me from the gate. You know what I mean? Like I left home with nothing, only the outfit on my back. And within a year, I had a whole closet full of clothes again. Okay. So I have a history of like, which is also like my spiritual calling too, like the miracle stuff. Like I know about miracles. I know how to pull them down. You know what I mean? So it was more like that. So I wasn't worried about money. I wasn't worried about, oh, you're missing the money. I was like, no, I'll make that again. I'll make that again. I'm not worried about that. My health is on the line here. So that's my spiel of this video, because I don't want to go like too long in it, because it's supposed to just be a snippet. I wanted to add it to my career strategy series. But again, if you are in pharma or you are in a role that is toxic and is toxic to where that you now having health issues like me, migraines, hair falling out through anemia, and fibroids are growing crazy, it's time for you to go. All right. Like I said, you don't need 12 steps to exit a toxic job. It's called 2 steps. I'm not dealing with this and I'm out. But anyway, if you enjoyed this or you like more career strategies, follow my series. I have more uploading. I'm doing a next series on about communication that will roll out. I think next week I have those two coming to film. But I'm excited. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, feel free to share your toxic job in the comments, or just put me too. If you want to talk about it or whatever, and that's fine as well. But anyway, have a good one. Bye.